Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shreve Memorial Library Author Chat. We are showcasing our local authors as we appreciate their work. And tonight we have Dr. Tuesday Mahoney. Dr. Mahoney is a noted educator, author, realtor, a motivational youth speaker. She is also an expert college access and career consultant. Dr. Mahoney serves as the assistant vice chancellor at Southern University and a creative CEO and founder of Virtually You Leadership Academy, LLC. She is a noted grant writer. She has written grants that has impacted the lives of thousands of students. Her most accomplished work is the Journal of NAUW, which was in the fall of 2009, which is entitled I Told the Storm, a journal of her mother's transplant survival. In 2016, she released the book that we're going to talk about tonight. And the title of that book is Follow Me to Purpose. Dr. Mahoney, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction and definitely the opportunity, Mrs. Ivy and the Shreve Memorial Library for having me tonight.
Yes, tell us more about yourself and what inspired you to become an author and to author this great book.
Well, definitely, as many of you know, I do serve the community in the capacity of education as the Assistant Vice Chancellor, the Southern University at Shreveport. I work with students all over the region and internationally, really concerning college access. So I'm extremely passionate about college and career preparation for young people and just assisting individuals with determining their purpose and fulfilling their God-given gifts and talents towards their goals in life. And for me, just going through a journey of where I had to, of course, discover myself and gain confidence in myself after being told as a little girl that I would not necessarily amount to anything or even ever go to college, just depending on inspirational aspects of my life and my mom to push me towards that. So I inspired to write the book. It really is aligned with the loss of my mother, who was my support system. So I'm kind of dealing with, at the time of creating the book, grief and then purpose kind of hit each other. And I was able to create this works that I hope to share tonight with everyone.
Okay, audience, we ask that if you have any questions, you can write them in the comment box and we will answer them before this broadcast is over. Dr. Mahoney, we understand that the book is about purpose and goal setting. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Follow Me to Purpose is an inspirational book that allows you to really focus on what God's plan is for your life. It is a 30-day journey through reflection. It allows you to kind of gain a little inspiration and then come up with a plan, an action plan after your 30 days, much like our New Year's resolutions. After your 30 days, that will really empower you to create that vision board that you need to create and create that purpose that you are trying to figure out. So in the book, I start off by realigning your mindset and by giving you the message that God has in relation to our purpose. And then we move into the 30-day journal that allows you to reflect on what you have. So the book can ensure that individuals that are reading could grow from every moment of their life and every experience that they face in a daily, throughout their daily journey.
Okay, everybody talks about purpose, and of course, when my children were coming along and getting ready to make that transition from high school to college. And even before that, we were talking about purpose. Tell everybody, what is purpose?
Thank you so much for that question. Well, in the book, and everybody has to get the book, it's available in the Shreve Memorial Library. I start off with teaching the readers how to define their gifts based on what God says our gifts are. And so, in my opinion, purpose refers to our God's given gift. Each person's gift, each person has a gift to create change in individuals. And so, through the book, it allows you to see from Genesis where God declared some things for our lives. And He initially created us, He blessed us, and then He's spoken to us. And when He's spoken to us, He left some things for us. And in the first part of the book, I talk about how He gave us dominion over things. So He gave us dominion over the fish in the sea. And that, in my opinion, is things um, that you're under, that things that are under you, things that you can overcome. And then the birds in the air, those are things that are over you that you have control over. And then everything on the earth, that's the dominion around the things that are around you and the situations that you're in. So if we really think about what God is saying, He has already outlined that plan for us. And so this book will get you where you need to be at that level of understanding and mind reset.
How does one discover their gift, per se?
Well, discovering your gift, I think that's the challenge right there. So, in the book, we're actually talking about how we really don't have to discover our own gift, that we already have gifts that are given to us. And so, um, let me give you my definition of what, I feel God was showing me when I was pretty much going through this mindset. So in the book, I kind of lay out some essentials that will help you figure out that path. And the first thing that you have to really work on is understanding what God's purpose is. So in Proverbs 16:30, it says, put God in charge of your plans and they will succeed. But most of all, Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans for you. So He already has those plans, and those plans are for you to prosper. So spending a little time meditating and reflecting on what God has for you, He will reveal it. So here are the 8 essential steps that the readers will gain from the book. And all of the individuals that are on today, if you can take notes, we talk about purpose first. And purpose just pretty much means determining who you are and what you want, laying that out. Having focus. So you just have to be mentally ready and physically on charge for what it is that God has for you. So you kind of have to be holistic in your ways in order to really get a grasp of your purpose. And then inspiration, creating ways that inspire you to stay motivated. So that could be a scripture, it could be a song, it could be an individual, but you have to stay motivated in your process and understanding your own purpose so that you can inspire others. Plan. It's very important that you create a vision for yourself. We all know without a vision, we perish. So every year around this time, I start creating that vision board. And so with this book, after doing 30 days, you will be in a position where you can create a true vision board for your life based on the inspiration God gives you. And then support. You have to build relationships. So you have to work with other individuals who can tell you where you areas where your strengths and your weaknesses are, where you may need to grow. So in the book, each day I have scenarios of my life where I actually spend time reflecting on what occurred in that given day. So it could be an example of a coworker that you don't get along with, going into work and doing something different to touch that coworker, or having a different type of relationship in that moment with that coworker versus what you would traditionally do, and allowing yourself to grow from that. So you get to come back from the book and reflect on, hey, I did this different today, and I saw where God used that situation in that given day. And then, of course, commitment. You have to be committed to the journey, committed to learning who you are, committed to building those skills in order to be better, and then taking action after you've created your plan. And then, of course, you'll see that you will succeed. So that's the 8 inspirational steps. It's a great guide that readers will receive from the book that I think will transform their path.
If you don't mind, would you share with us one of those stories?
Absolutely. I want to start with just day one. Day one.
Mhm.
So I always start with an inspirational piece. So as I read day one, the topic is all in the name. And the scripture that we start off with is put God in charge of your works, and your plans will be achieved, and you will succeed. And that is Proverbs 16:3. So here's our story. Everywhere I go, people that I meet always ask ask me why my mother named me Tuesday. I remember my mom sharing her story of why she named me Tuesday after a day of the week. She was expecting a boy, and back in the early 70s, all you could rely on is the little old ladies looking at your belly position to name the sex of your baby. Well, he had me, and lo and behold, there I was, a beautiful little bald-headed girl. She wasn't too excited because she thought her life journey would consist of parenting knucklehead boys like my little brother Tracy. Ha ha. But there I was, a bright-eyed female. She refused to name me. The nurses, after a day of deliberation, encouraged her to declare a name for her daughter, me. Uninterested, she pondered for a moment and thought, so what's the day of the week? It was Tuesday. Yep, that's what she did. Named me after the day, a day where her life's plans turned in a totally different direction. Now, this name Tuesday, which caused me much torment throughout my childhood, became the uniqueness that others remember about me. Little did mom know I would become her most valuable asset. Tuesday. Her best friend, Tuesday. Her favorite day of the week, Tuesday. Just like for me, here I am, a favorite day for you, Tuesday. So I provide a challenge after every story. And this challenge states, make sure that all you do is align with what God has for your life. One mom went over her plans and put God in charge. She began to experience happiness and success with what she had, Tuesday. So then I encourage our readers to complete what I call the me-flexion moment at the end of each day. So they get to take this in the morning off on their day. They're going to look for ways that they will put God in charge of their works and how things didn't turn out exactly the way that they wanted it to, but they still received success out of it. And then at the end of the day, they'll come back and talk about what did they gain that, and how will they use what they gain towards their purpose. And so each day you get a little bit of my life story, but then you get to go and apply it to your life, which will build your journey and understanding your purpose.
Wow, what a wonderful story. We really enjoyed that. Now, you say that goal setting is vital to this journey. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's definitely vital. So once again, it's the same concept. Without a vision, you perish. And so I'm very, very passionate about goal setting and teaching young people how to set goals and individuals in general. So I came up with a concept in the book that really defines an inspirational viewpoint to goal setting. So my definition of goal setting is simply God's great opportunity to arm you with life's situation that he would turn into a successful move. And so with goal setting, we have to first of all think about what God's plan is, number one. And then once we understand that, then we set those goals each step of the way and we do a timeline. I always do a timeline. That's where the vision board comes in at. You have to write down the plan and make it plain. And so we always do a timeline. And you'll notice, because I did a vision board from the beginning when I went to in 2016 when I wrote the book. And everything that I had on the vision board came to pass and more. I mean, I didn't have my doctoral degree at the time I got that. I didn't even have a spouse at the time. I got an amazing gentleman, Mr. Derek Mahoney, who is definitely a wonderful inspiration for my life. But he was on my vision board. He was on my vision board. The home that I am in now, I wrote it down exactly and it came to pass. And then the career, just the levels that God has taken me to in the areas of career, they were all on my vision board. And so I'm so passionate about when God shows you something that you put it down so that you can remember that, hey, it was him that moved and that allowed you to achieve what it is that you're achieving. So if you don't take note of what you're achieving through goal setting, then you won't really recognize how God has moved in your life, and you have to honor that.
What would you tell, I guess, young people who really don't know what their goal might be?
So, good question. And a lot of young people do not. I would encourage them to explore various things. So get involved in the community. Get involved in different aspects of career. So a lot of times young people want to be certain things. Let's say, for example, they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, but they've never met a doctor. They've never met a lawyer. They've never actually walked in those individual shoes. So it's important that they find mentors in those areas and participate in spend time in those areas. And another thing about that is if you, for example, shadow a doctor for a day or two, you really get an understanding of what it is that they're doing, and you realize it's not really that challenging. It's an area of expertise that they have created in the midst of routine. And so once you understand the routine of that project and you're comfortable with that, then you can be that thing. And so practice makes perfect. And so that's what I'll tell a young person, and I will assist them with getting involved in various service aspects or internships. And then from there, it's very similar to what we have in the book as far as observing your day and then coming back and reflecting on what it is that I gained from that day, from that experience. So I would tell you, definitely spend time and then reflect, and then you grow, and then you can set your goals.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And I have to concur with that. I can remember, if I can just inject my story in here,
Sure.
I can remember when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old, I was so interested in radio and television and journalism. I went and spent the day with an actual journalist and found out just exactly what do they do all day.
Right.
And just from there, I could see how I could do it. Yes. Let's move on to our next question. What steps can the reader take to get inspired to reach their purpose?
So it kind of aligns with the 8 steps that I mentioned. Once again, the book is divided into sections related to those 8 steps, and that's purpose, focus, inspiration, plan, support, commitment, action, and success. And one of the most important aspects of the 8 steps is simply taking the action. So it's one thing to set a goal, but then another thing to actually act upon the goal, to put the work behind it. Faith without works is dead. So I want to encourage readers as they're reading this book. That's why I have the reflection aspect. Put in the work. So I want to encourage our readers and our young people to act upon what it is that you have set, to take the steps for each individual goal by getting involved, as we mentioned before. So that is what I say is the most important point with preparing our readers, is to get the essential steps down packed. And I break down the steps in the book. It's way too much to cover tonight, but I really want readers to take time to digest each area so that they can then again, once again, apply that.
And of course, you talked about applying it to their daily life. and how to help others start off their new year towards this kind of achievement is by getting the book, huh?
Yeah, so definitely get the book. And on the 30th day, which I think is the most powerful day, it really just covers how you can plan. It takes you through a lesson that teaches you how to reflect on everything that you gained throughout your life, pretty much, in the book. And then it's a hands-on activity that goes through things like, what did you gain overall from the book? How will you use what you gain? What are your new goals, and setting your goals for that time frame? And the scripture that I use to kind of motivate the guide that we have for the reflection series is Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for the good of those who are called according to his purpose. So by the time you get to the end of the book, you would have had a stronger understanding of what purpose is, and then you could lay all of that out. And then hopefully this will lead you to the vision board that you need to create for the rest of our 2021. So really, thinking about New Year's resolutions, follow me to purpose will get you there. A lot of times we jump right into that first day of the year and we just create resolutions. I think it's going to be very important that in 2021, after a year like 2022, that you really take the time to reflect on what it is God is doing in this world right now, in our nation, and in your life before you set your goals.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about that person? Like you said, it's still January. The year is still fresh, and they're off to that running start. And by February, when one thing doesn't work out, they've kind of slowed down and probably not doing anything at all. And then they start to feel bad about themselves. Give us a word of inspiration to kind of help us keep chucking along.
Well, you said it, inspiration. You have to be inspired and you have to stay inspired. So inspiration in the book is a way, the way that you create the way that you stay motivated. It may be, once again, a scripture. It may be a power photo. So in the beginning, that's why you have to kind of read the book the first month, because it teaches you the things that you need to have prepared before you hit that February where you're down. And that's what's happening. We jump into a goal, and then by February, March, we're doing something totally different. The book keeps you on track. It equips you first. It kind of helps reset your mind in order to focus on, hey, I'm going through 2021 with the purpose. I have a vision. I have an end goal. I know the end and the beginning. And then it teaches you the individual steps to stay on task. So inspiration, focus, and commitment are a part of the core of building a goal. And you learn that through this book. So you can't really do it without Follow Me to Purpose. And then the thing about Follow Me to Purpose, I'm not asking my readers to follow me. No, I'm nobody. You know what I'm saying? That was a question that I asked God. Show me your plans for me. And the response was, just simply follow me to purpose. So when you think about someone that loves and cares for you and you're lost and you need them to guide you, it's like having on a blindfold and you have someone that wants to guide you through a maze, and they care about you enough, they're going to take your hand and they're going to slowly walk you through, with ensuring that you're not injured and that you're not in any danger. They could clearly see the path before you. And so as they carry you through, because you trust that individual and you know that they have your best interest at hand, that you're going to make it to the end goal. And that's what happened when I received this word to write this book. God just said, follow me to purpose. And then here we go. We have these essential steps to do it.
Okay, now for that person who feel like they found purpose, they are doing everything, and they're giving their all to the purpose, but the purpose is not giving anything back.
So it's almost like that's a part of the mindset. In the beginning, the very first page of my book talks about the selfless thing. So that's where we kind of get caught up in trying to create purposes based on what we want instead of based on what we need to give to others in the world. We are here to serve others. And that's the foundation of you even setting a goal or a purpose. It has to be about service. Any other way, yes, you're not going to feel completely satisfied. Either you're in the wrong thing, not in your passion, or you're being selfish. You need to be selfless through this journey in life, and you will not get burnt out. That's why I'm able to do so many things, and people ask me to slow down, but I don't do anything unless I feel the core of what God is calling me. It's like you were talking to me earlier, Mrs. Ivy, about how you have leveled your life on God's inspiration and how you're able to touch others in that way. And then how he showed you where your gift, which your resounding voice inspires me. And I remember it. I don't think I've ever met you, but I remember your voice. You see what I'm saying? And it's an inspiration just to hear, wow, that's who that, So it's the same thing. You have to make sure that you're the right path and that you're there to serve.
Wow, that's exactly what I was looking for with that answer. Of course, you have some other works. Can you tell us about the Millie series?
Yes, I absolutely love the Millie series. The kids are loving it, and I'm appreciating their appreciation of it. So Millie is a character that I created kind of based on my experiences with college and career. So being a college administrator and just really watching how young people are still not yet prepared for opportunities, even when they hit senior year, even with the adults that I serve. We have a program that serves adults 19 and beyond called the Education Opportunity Center. We still have a lot of individuals in our community laying on the sofa lost, is what I call the laying on the sofa syndrome, at grandma's house, still lost, grown folk. And so with the Millie series, it inspires me to make sure that we prepare our young people early. So it's for K through 6th graders, the little ones, and it hits them with tough topics in a very kid-friendly way. So Millie, the Job Seeker, is the first book, and it really talks about college and career, and it hits them with what a need is, what a want is, and what money is to our society. And how money is there to help you meet your needs and your wants, and how you can, with understanding your career and your path, generate that economic success that will impact your family. And so the young people get to hear about that. Then we have college and career. I know Mrs. Abby, you talked about being a part of the TRIO program, being a TRIO achiever, which TRIO is a federally funded program opportunities for generation students. And so it's a college preparation opportunity. A lot of people don't get that. So this book is available. I made sure that I had it available in certain communities so our young people can understand it from their level. And I've done presentations with the little ones, and they love it. And then I have work ethics, and we go on and on and on, all the way to service. Service is my 10th giving back. Millie gives back. So available in Street Memorial Libraries. Parents go get the great way to teach.
And I think I read somewhere where you said that every parent, every teacher, every principal need this series, especially for the children.
When it's around young people, you need to get this series.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Well, now, Miss Educator, author, mother, wife, when did you find time to write a book for all of those who are inspired to write out there?
Well, I don't know if you remember or not, but in March, we were hit by a devastating pandemic. So in 2018, I spoke with youth enrichment programs. I did Millie the Job Seeker. I created that series right then and there for that particular group. This was about 8 or 9 after school programs, K through 6. And I went out and I did the workshops. The young people were excited. They were engaged. They loved the message. And so it just inspired me. I felt kind of bad because, I love to give and I love to impact. I felt bad because I walked away and I felt like they didn't have anything else left, to continue this journey. And so I said, that should be a book. And then when we were hit by, unfortunately, by COVID-19 and we were in quarantine, as busy as I like to be, I had to make sure that I found something. And so I really just felt like this was God's time. He started nudging on me. There's something that you have to do for young people. And this was just God's time to inspire me. And I just started writing. I'm self-published, so I was able to make sure that all of the graphics, the writing, the layout, everything I did for all 10 books. And I just put it to work. And so by the time we made it through the end of our summer in August, I had at least 5 to 6 of those books done. I just didn't stop until, God, shut me down. So now I'm like, I got the 10, but it was all for a purpose. And so what I did what I'm doing with that series right now is I'm out volunteering because I like to give back with the Boys and Girls Club, the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club in the Merkel Center. At Salvation Army, the homeless shelter. We're doing presentations that cover the book. And also each time I go, I make sure that I provide those young people with some type of resource related to the book so they can take that back. And they receive the book as much as I can give them as well, donate it out to those students.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. What steps can you offer others that want to become an author?
Yes, so if it's others on tonight, thank you for joining us. The most important thing is if you have it in the core of, and I always say the core of who you are, you need to get it out there. You need to write it down and you need to put it in a format and make that a manuscript or works that others can be inspired by. Remember, I just spoke about how we're here to help others and how we're here to, ensure that others fulfill their whatever your area of expertise is, you should be writing it down. Not only, doing a book is not only about just you writing down your message, people hearing that, it's all about you leaving a legacy so that others that come after you can go into the Shree Memorial Library and they can find your manuscript for many, many years to come and they can be inspired. So it's leaving an imprint for you in the world, that I think why it's so important that you do it, just do it. And self-publishing is a great opportunity these days. There are free resources out there for you to do that. I assist individuals with self-publishing. It's a very, very simple process now. And I think we all should document what it is that God has given us in the areas of our gifts.
Wow. Sam, do we have any questions in the comment boxes?
Yes, we have one question. It is from Gwen Washington. She says, "Good evening, everyone. Dr. Mahoney, has there been a time when one of your readers shared their success story with you after reading your book or hearing one of your presentations?" And that's actually a question that I had in my mind. So I'm glad Gwen asked that question.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gwen, for your question. I appreciate it. Yes, I actually did a series with women. I actually did presentations in Dallas, Texas with women, and they read the book. So one thing that they left with when we did the presentations after reading the book, they read the book and then they came so that we can have a vision board party. And so they left with their actual vision and their goals documented, their plan. And so I get a lot of great feedback from individuals that say it really was a jump start to them wanting to define what it is that God has for them. And so I think it really aligns wholeheartedly with taking the chance to, I don't know if everybody does this or not. And Ms. Ivy, you can let me know, do you all do vision boards at the beginning of each year? So
I have done that in the past, not really knowing, talking to you has just kind of confirmed a lot of things inside of me that I had been doing, not really knowing or having it organized. Um, I've got to get this book to make sure that I was headed down the right path.
I'll make sure you get a copy of the book, because I did this. I did the series also with the program called the Sin with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. I'm a member of that organization here in Shreveport, and we did it with teen girls. And
Uh-huh.
left with a little miniature vision board. And one thing that the feedback that I got, and those young ladies I still communicate with, they're all graduates. They're graduating from college now, and they're part of organizations similar to that. And they call me back and they say, thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for that time. And thank you for the information that your book shared. But really wholeheartedly, it's going to be your guide. It's going to be your guide. And if we're walking around today and we still haven't defined what it is that we want to do for 2021,
Mm-hmm.
that's the red alert. As we can see how things are going, we have to write down what it is that where we want to be by next year. And so a lot of times, when we think about things that we want to do, like write a book, we'll talk about it. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. Why don't you? I will have my book written by December 2021. And then towards that, and don't let next year, this time January, come around and you don't have this book in your hand that to inspire others.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it. It's action. It's all about the action. That's a part of our 8 essential steps, taking action.
To the person who procrastinate, and sometimes I'll be transparent. Sometimes I fall into procrastination, and that's just basically what it is. I have unofficially done, I guess, a vision board, and when I do that, now thinking back, those things came to pass when I write them down, because that way I have held myself accountable.
Right.
And I think that's the key to doing this. And I think that's everybody's biggest fear. If I write it down or if I say it out loud, I'm going to have to hold myself accountable for it. Tell us about that.
Yes, with that being said, that means you're going to stand still. If you don't want to be held accountable for change, the change that you need to make in order to help change someone else, then you're going to stand still right where you are. You'll be in the same spot next year saying, oh, I should have. So at some point in life, if you want to see success, if you want to really achieve that you're called to do, you're going to have to be held accountable, and you're going to have to hold yourself to the action that it requires. Procrastination, I'm not too really upset with procrastination, because sometimes we confuse procrastination with exhaustion. So really, we're just tired. We're doing too many things that are not really aligned with our purpose. We're super busy, and then we get too tired when it comes down to what it is that we're really called to do. And then we come, oh, I procrastinated on this thing. No, you exhausted yourself, and then you didn't accomplish what God wanted you to accomplish. You accomplished everything else everybody else wanted you to do. Call that procrastination. So really think about when you say procrastination, is it really that, or is it really that you're doing other things that's not in your calling?
Wow, that's a whole nother area.
Real quick, we just got another question that's kind of related to your procrastination question. It says, from Ernest Flowers, Dr. Mahoney, what advice would you give to individuals who may fall or experience a struggle along the way of achieving their purpose or goal?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Yes, struggle is a part of the process. So as I talked about reflecting each day, or creating a time where you reflect on what it is that happened today, this crisis or this situation, why is it here? What I learned from this. So you should be learning from your struggles. The struggle should be boosting your motivation for the change that you want. So, and let me give you an example. I remember my mom standing there, and she was talking to someone, and I was standing there. I was probably about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, and I want to say she was talking to a teacher in the community, a lady that was a teacher in the community. She was just saying some things about what she saw from me. I see my little girl doing it. My mom was uneducated at the time, and I just remember that individual saying, I just don't see that for her. You know, I don't know, because I was very, very shy. You know, I wouldn't say a mumbling word. I wouldn't speak. I was like the shyest girl in school. And so people just did not believe that I had anything in me, because I didn't believe that I had anything in me. But I had to learn how to take the challenge of being insulted, being belittled, you know, pretty much almost bullied in a sense, because I was an introvert. I had to take those challenges and really reflect as I got older, really ask God what that you call for me to do. We ask God, why am I so shy? Why can I not speak up? Why can't I, and start working on it? So that challenge, Mr. Flowers, should be a boost. It should be the reason that you're moving towards your purpose. It should be your drive, pretty much.
Mhm. Yes, and I definitely concur with that. As we spoke earlier today, I talked about I was a severe stutterer. I could not even say my name. It would probably take me 5 minutes just to get it out. And as I began to take the speech classes, it's kind of like as you go and as you step out and you continue to do and to overcome that very thing that you struggle with, the struggle is probably really where the purpose is.
Ooh, yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Exactly. So now look at you and how you've impacted our community in that one area. And then me, being an introvert, now I can stand before thousands of students each day and provide
Mhm.
them with an encouraging word. When I was a student that was pushing back up in the corner, you know, so I really agree and concord with what you're saying, that one thing that you feel is a challenge is really what God is pulling on.
Mhm. Oh yeah, definitely. Sam, I think there may be another question or comment in the box.
No other questions. We did have a comment about the vision boards. Jackie Walton said that they had a vision book group project that was received well. So other people have been doing the vision book or the vision boards and vision books. So they're very useful
Yes.
and they work.
Yeah,
Well,
when you do put it up, you got to put that action behind it.
and you know, I think I'm going to start this year off with a vision board.
Yes, and every year, and I promise you, it's going to come to pass. And if it doesn't come to pass in that year, keep it on your board, because it will. It will. I've seen it happen. I've actually had to throw away vision boards because everything was done. Everything was, and it's all because I wrote it down. And then on your, when you do your vision board, and that's why Follow Me to Purpose is so important. You want to always have an inspirational foundation, such as scripture or something of that nature, to guide your purpose behind the vision board. So give your vision of motivation so that you can turn to that when you, like Mrs. Ivy, you said in February, when you start kind of like, everybody's kind of like giving up, you look back at that board and that's where your inspiration is, on that board, surrounded by the things that you want to accomplish. And then do a timeline, take one step at a time.
Right. Dr. Mahoney, can you tell us where we can find this great work of yours? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can always find it at Shreve Memorial Library. But I'm pretty sure there are some other places as well.
Okay, I am. Thank you so much. I am the creative CEO of a project I call Virtually You Leadership Academy. And basically, with Virtually You, I provide a series of workshops, topics from career readiness through self-development, personal development for young people ages K through pretty much college age. And so they can find all of my books on my website, which is virtually the letter U leadership.com, and it will guide them to all of the series that I Amazon.com. You can search Dr. Tuesday Mahoney and everything will pop up. As I mentioned, I am self-published on Amazon.
Is there anything for, I guess, adults, as far as getting, I'll say, us on track with these dreams and goals and visions, and aligning and and I guess to make sure that we're aligned with our purpose?
Yes, just definitely know that God knows your plans and all you have to do is for the plan. But I do have, again, once again, the actual book, Follow Me to Purpose, which is a guide for you. And then I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but I have the Follow Me to Purpose workbook that can be utilized as a step-by-step guidance for adults to make it to the end of the process. And so I just want to encourage you to check out both and have both as you make it through your journey. But just know that all things are possible, and you just need to make sure that you are walking in your purpose and that you are once again giving back to our community and others in order to take us to the next level, pretty much.
Will you be doing like any workshops or any of that kind of thing in conjunction with the book?
So I've actually did a couple of women's series. Right now I'm open and looking for individuals that would like to schedule me, church groups and or women's groups. Right now on my schedule, I currently have the Young People with the Millie series scheduled all the way through the month of May. So they're getting all 10 books. And then I also have in preparation for teen girls a body confidence through virtually a body confidence series that we'll be doing with ages 13 to 18 for the young girls. And we're actually working with individuals that are in Washington, D.C. and Dallas, Texas. So we'll come together and create that series and touch teen lives at this time. But I'm available if any adult groups want to reach out. This is for men and women. Purpose is for everyone. Please do so. And I do a lot of workshops with the Greek letter organizations with a lot of their groups as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are so excited and so proud of the work that you're doing, especially with our young people. Do we have any other questions for tonight?
No more questions but we did have a comment. It's from Raquel. It says, Dr. Mahoney, I was truly blessed today. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate it. I was blessed as well to have Shreve Memorial Library, the author chat, originated by Miss Ivy Woodard, to call upon me and provide me with this experience tonight. I truly appreciate it. And I'm just honored to share with my community, Shreveport-Bossier, in any way possible. So if you do need me, just reach out. And thank you once again, ladies. Thank you, Miss Samantha, for having me in such a wonderful night tonight.
Wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is going to wrap up our author chat series for tonight. That is, we do this every first Thursday night of each month. Same time, same place. Coming up in February, we have another local author. He's going to talk about education, and you don't want to miss this because Mr. Tyrone Burton was a principal. He's a retired principal for Cherokee Park Elementary School, and he was there for several years. And since then, he's gone on and gotten his doctorate degree, and he's going to talk about the future of education. And we're going to get the title for that book. We'll let you know all about that particular book coming up. Be sure to join us. You can learn about Shreve Memorial Library Author Chat through our social media pages and through our website. Be sure to go to www.shreve-live.org. And we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. Dr. Mahoney, we are so delighted that you stopped by to chat with us tonight. And we look forward to more coming from you.
Thank you once again. You all have a happy 2021.
Thank you.